Welcome to Life Mastery for Women, where I help you decode the struggles in your life in the areas of health, wealth, relationships, and spirituality with mind mastery, emotional management, and meditation. Welcome to today's podcast. Hey ladies, it's Jen Mack, Lady of the Mind. Welcome to today's episode where I hope I am finding you living your daydream. If you are not living your daydream, it is my intention that in today's episode, I give you one nugget of inspiration towards your transformation. I don't know if I told you this already, you guys. I'm so excited. I bought into another coaching program that I am a participant in, learning how to create, finally, because I've wanted it for years and years and years, finally, my group coaching program, where it's going to have events and retreats. And I've been so excited. It's been literally, I'm not kidding, it's 10 years easy, where I have wanted to have women's retreats and have events and have this women's community. And you know, if you're listening to my podcast, you know that we have the Lady Rising group. We have a core small group of women that are really our core group that are so amazing and so lovely and just these loyal women, these women warriors that are really dedicated to their personal growth. And I just love them for that, because that is totally my people. Those are totally my girls. And I love being a determined female entrepreneur. Now, you don't have to be an entrepreneur to be a part of this community, but I am a determined entrepreneur who wants to make bold decisions in my life in the areas of health, wealth, relationships, and spirituality. Like, I want to test the waters. I want to dive head first, and I want to make big decisions, and I want to go forward, and I want to completely transform my life. So I am wanting to create a 6-figure business, a coaching business, a women's community based on transformation. And when I joined this program, I was nervous before I hit the yes button, because it was not cheap. Before I submitted my application to be a part of this program. And I was nervous and I was excited, and then I was full of fear. And then I've had my already roller coaster. I don't even know that it's even been a week yet. I think we're coming up to a week. I think it's tomorrow. And we're coming up to a week that I signed on, and I'm like head first, diving in, doing the work, listening to the program. We have live calls coming up next week. I'm really excited. I'm all in. And then I stand back and I think, are we all in? Based on fear? What if this doesn't work? What if I can't make it work? What if it doesn't work for me? What's going to happen? What's going to happen to my business? What's going to happen to my self-esteem? And I listen to a couple of songs, and I get very motivated by music. And there's this song, I don't know, I think her last name is Mayola. Anyway, it's called Daydream by Lily Mayola, Meola, I believe. And if you Google the song or you go to YouTube and you watch the video, and it is about basically a desire to transcend our fear, where you start out with, as you're little kids and you're playing in the backyard, you want to be an astronaut or a rock star. Nobody tells you no. But as you get older, they start to put fear in you that you being a rock star, you being an astronaut, you're not smart enough to be an astronaut, you're not good enough to be a rock star. They start to develop this fear. Well, they put this belief in us, and we adopt this belief that we're not good enough. But yet I have this big dream, and so I also suffer with imposter syndrome. I suffer from being not good enough or not smart enough. I've been told that at different, stages of my life. But then I think there's this fire that's lit inside that I cannot put out. I can't just go get a full-time job. I would be absolutely 100% unequivocally miserable. And if I'm miserable, then everybody around me is miserable. And I don't want that. I have a gift to share with the world. You have heard me say it thousands of times on these podcasts and every time you come into contact with me. And you do too. And it doesn't matter at what scale. It doesn't matter where you are in your life, but what were your dreams back then? What did you dream about? What did you hope for that your life would be like when you got to this stage of your life? When you got to 30, where were you hoping to be financially or in a relationship, or what kind of a family, or where did you want to be living? Then when you get to your 40s, what are you hoping to have in your life? Who are you hoping to become? When you get to 50, when you get to 60, where do you want your life to be? No matter where you are at the scale, take the next 10 years. And I say to myself, okay, so I'm almost 50. Where do I want to be when I'm 60? Well, I want to tell you, I want to be in the house that I can dream. I want to be a 6-figure or 7-figure businesswoman. I want to be having 3 women's retreats a year. I want to be having several events. And I want to have a huge coaching business where I'm helping thousands of women make bold decisions in their life. And you keep hearing me say that, bold. You might not think you're bold, but let me ask you this. Are you determined to make change? Are you determined to have a transformation? If you are determined to have a transformation, everything else, all of the steps and the action that you need to take to do that, to make that transformation happen, starts inside of you. And it starts with a big, clear vision. If you don't have a vision of where you want to go or what you want to be doing or who you want to become, you are never going to leave the driveway. If you don't know where you're going on vacation, will you buy a plane ticket? If you don't know where you're going on your trip, would you start the car? Would you pack the suitcase? Well, then no wonder you're not changing. You can't change unless you know what you want to change. I'm constantly asking and constantly telling my people here, take your place where you're at right now. Where do you want to be next year? Where do you want to go? What do you want to be doing? And take the absolute ceiling off of what you are believing as soon as I say that. There was a time that I wanted to be a physical therapist. And then I wanted to be a kinesiologist. I wanted to learn how the body moves on all these planes. And I wanted to study that. And immediately my brain says, you're not smart enough. Remember what Mr. Patterson said when you wanted to go to university? He flat out told me, Jennifer, you are not smart enough to go to university. And he closed up my folder. He said, how about a community college? And I left there as an 11th grader feeling devastated. He absolutely shot down my dream. In this song, that is what we're talking about. There's 2 parts, like the things that you wanted to do. This woman that wanted to become a singer, but she's a waitress with no self-esteem. All of her power is gone, no desire to move forward because somewhere along the line, fear got in the way and shot down her dream, where she thought of all these reasons not to do it. That's why your reason has to be big enough. That's why your reason has to be so big that it excites you more than anything. Going on a week-long vacation to the Caribbean, or taking a cruise, or going to Florida or Arizona, or going to some retreat that's going to change your absolute life, or it's going to improve your life in some way, or starting a diet, or changing the way you eat, or changing how you interact with your kids. It has to be so exciting that in that excitement, that it completely overrides any fear or doubt or limiting beliefs or negative self-talk that get in the way. That the mere idea of obtaining that thing outweighs, overshadows any fear and doubt. Do I have fear and doubt because I just paid money for this big giant program that I'm in? Do I have fear and doubt? Yes, but I tell you what, I am meant for something great and I am feeding that fire. I want you to feed your fire. I don't care how old you are. You could be 85 years old. I want you to step into the ring that says, I am a woman and I am a warrior and I want things to change in my life. I am ready for the relationship. I'm ready for the career. I'm ready to make money. I'm ready to have the happiness. I'm ready to lose the weight. I'm ready to step into this thing, this being, this doing and having. I'm ready. When you say that, that means your vision is big enough. You know that you can have it. You know that it's only going to take a little bit of creation and a few steps. Because once your vision is big enough, all those steps, it's not going to matter. It's not going to matter. Believe me, it's when we are not creating a vision that excites us that those action steps seem daunting. Let me say that again. It's when your vision, your idea, your dream, your desire is not big enough It's not big enough that then the action steps seem daunting. If you are trying to take action and your action steps are daunting, look at your vision. Look at your vision. Okay? If you are looking at your vision and you're thinking, it doesn't really excite me that much, you have to change your vision, come up with something new, or tweak it just a little bit. When Amy and I were talking about, so there's a part where we're creating a signature program. We're creating our coaching program. And my goal is to help thousands of women. That's my goal. I am determined. I have laser focus. I am ready to go. I'm hardly sleeping. I'm getting up early. I'm staying up late, and I am working on this. I am determined. Nothing is getting in my way. Okay? This is not an option. I am going to succeed at this. Well, a couple days ago, I wasn't feeling so successful, right? Fear was starting to creep in. So then I looked at the vision again. People are waiting for me to show up. My kids are waiting for me to show up. My partner is waiting for me to show up in life and be an active participant in my life. Oh my God, that's what's missing. I am not being an active participant in my life. I can have happiness, I can have wealth, I can have health, and I can have the career I want. Are you joking? Get it together, right? Step into that role that says, here's my vision and I'm going for it. Make it nerve-wracking. Make it so exciting that nothing is going to stand in your way. So take that thing. When we were creating our program before, we're like, well, gosh, we basically help everybody. Okay, well, don't say that because that's not enough. What we did come up with is we help determined women. I love that word. That's my favorite word, is determined. That and freedom. Determined women to make bold decisions in their lives in the areas of health, wealth, and relationships. Connecting intuitively, grounding to Mother Earth, and living this life to the absolute fullest. Does this motivate you? Because I hope it does. Because that's what I'm currently doing. And you're going to hear more about this program, and you're going to hear more about, what we're doing and the program that's coming and how we're creating it and what the steps are and all of that, whether you're a part of our program or not. But I want you to be a part of the behind the scenes in a way that allows me to share the fears, the ups, the downs, the all in betweens, because when you're achieving something, when you're going towards a goal, there is no straight line to it. Remember what I said, when you get in an airplane and you're flying to Miami, it is not a straight line. They course correct along the way. They hit some turbulence along the way, right? You will too. That is normal. And if you're an entrepreneur, that is way normal because the pressure is on you. There isn't an employee or an employer that you can go, okay, wait a second. Can you help me with this? A lot of times there is nobody to ask to get help. You have to go inward. You have to have introspection. You have to have some self-motivation and inspiration. You have to know where to do that. You have to be able to manage the 8 inches that's between your ears. What's the hardest thing you'll ever do in your life? And that is what we talk about. Because once you can manage your thinking, you can manage your emotions. And once you can manage your emotions, you become empowered, and now you're straight on your way to happiness. You'll start making different decisions. You have to be able to make those bold decisions though, right? I have to be able to say, okay, shoot, man, this program is kind of expensive. Am I going to do it? Am I going to be able to do it? Am I going to do the work? Yes, I always do the work, and I want to. So I moved that way. Is my vision big enough that it's going to carry me through the whole duration of this course? And am I going to be able to reap the benefits on the other side to not only pay for the business, but to get the thing that I want to get, where I can be able to really help the people that I want to help, that really puts the focus in between my eyes so I can overcome some of those emotions that are going to show up. So it's really exciting to think about your vision, and I encourage you to get one. I encourage you to figure out what your daydream is. When you are kind of lost in the sauce and you're kind of thinking and trying to think about your life and transform, don't think about the complaining of your life unless you do that for a second. It's like, what am I complaining about? If that weren't here, what would I have? That helps you to transform your thinking on the other side to say, okay, if I'm in this shitty relationship, and I didn't want to be in this relationship, or if I wasn't in it, what would I have? I would have love, passion, intimacy. It would be fun. It would be easy. There, now create your vision. Okay, if my relationship was loving, friendly, passionate, intimate, and fun, what does that look like? What would we be doing? How would we be interacting? And paint the picture. When you start doing this, you are working with the energy around you. Because immediately, I don't know about you, I can be in the shittiest environment, and I've been in some shitty environments. Not, there are people who've been in worse environments for sure, but I've been in some shitty environments. But if I'm in a terrible environment and I stop myself from complaining and focusing on the things that are terrible, and I look to the other side and I go, okay, if this wasn't here, what would I have? And I create the scene, I can immediately calm my emotional state. I can calm down and find hope and get excited. Now I'm going to spend more time there than I am in the physical world, because the physical world is already done. It's already been created. Whatever mess you got yourself into, you've already done it. It's over. It's over. It's all done. Now, because it's already physically manifest. Now go into the workshop again, which is like your meditative space. Go in your mind, go in your head, and think of, what am I wanting to create? And spend more time there, living your daydream. I encourage you to check that song out, look at the lyrics, hear the song a couple of different times. It is Daydream by Lily Meola, Meola. It's a beautiful song, but it really is, the bottom line is, here's our daydream. We started out dreaming as children. Nobody told us to stop. Nobody told us that you can't be an astronaut or a rock star. But somehow fear starts to creep in, and you go to college and you get, you go get your other degree because you're not going to be an astronaut because everyone told you weren't smart enough. Now you start to believe them. And then all of a sudden now you're 30 years old and you wish you had your career, and you don't, because you didn't want it in the first place. You wanted to be an astronaut, but you're a waitress with a beautiful singing voice because you wanted to be a singing astronaut. You just have to watch the lyrics. You'll understand what I mean. But now you're not. Now you're not living your daydream. What are you living if you're not living your dream? You're dying. If you are not living the life you want to live, you are dying. If you are not living the life you want to live, you are dying. I don't care how old you are. You could be 92. If you are miserable in your job, in your relationship, in your house, in the city you live in I don't care what, figure out a way to change it. Make bold decision, take bold action. But you can't take bold action. It will seem tedious if your vision isn't clear, or it isn't exciting, or it isn't big enough. If it's not clear, you don't know, you just know you don't want this, ask yourself, if I'm saying I don't want this, what do I want? Spend time right there. Go out in the wilderness, sit out in a tree, sit out in the sunshine, go to the beach, go to your favorite spot, and ponder that question. What do I want to change? And that's it. Create the new vision. The rest of the action steps will be easy. Please understand that. The action steps of me right now filling in and doing all this homework and watching these videos and downloading and printing all of this stuff, that is easy. Filling in the blanks. What do I do? Who do I work with? What do I solve? What problem? How many days? How many hours is going to be my group coaching? What's the price is going to be? I have to answer all these questions if I'm going to create this thing. Well, that's really hard. And I'm working, and I have kids, and we have baseball, and I have a partner, and I have dogs. Oh my God, how am I going to make this happen? I will find a way, because I am determined, and I am a bold woman wanting to make significant change, not only in my life, my family's life, and in your life. I, my friend, am going to be living my daydream, and I encourage you to do the same. If you liked this episode and you look forward to future episodes and are really looking for a community to help support you with implementing the tools that we're talking about in this podcast, please consider joining our online sister community called Lady Rising on Facebook, where we focus on that spiritual support and connection, just like in today's episode. I hope you'll join us. Go to Facebook, type in Lady Rising, and tell me you came in through the podcast.